I'm Jared, and this is my lesson plan for Ed 633. It's going to give you a quick overview of the lesson plan, and it's kind of going to be a combo platter of summarizing the lesson and some instruction as to when the lesson would be going on as to what I'd be doing. So, um, overview of the lesson of kind of what we need to know is we have a few supplies that we would be using. We would be using a couple of different books. One is an alphabet book and one is a reading book. And you could go in two ways with it. You could use the book, you could make worksheets from the book, or you could make the kids with a dry erase marker write in the book and then erase it and then pass it on from year to year. So you could do either one. They're also going to be using a website called Starfall. It's a pretty neat website with abilities for the student to have interaction with the website. So they'll be picking letters, and there's some activities that go along with each letter. Okay. All right, so class, what I'd like you to do right now is to take out your alphabet book and open up to page number 3. And what I want you to do is take a dry erase marker out, one of the things that you have in your desk, and with each letter of the alphabet, we're going to copy the letters, rewrite the letters in both capital form and lowercase form. Once you get that done, after you do 5 capital letters and 5 lowercase letters, I want you to then try to identify the picture that is next to the letter. And whatever the picture is, it starts with that letter. So that'll kind of give you an idea of how it sounds. We're going to sound them out. Okay, and then you're going to be looking, there's some letters underneath where you're going to practice, and I want you to circle the correct letters. So if you look at the first one, you can see that there's an A, that there's an X, that there's an A, there's an L. Okay, so you're only going to circle the A's. Okay, and when everyone's finished doing that, we'll ask for volunteers to come up to the smartboard, and with the letter that we just did, we'll be able to work on that website with the letter. And it'll be kind of cool because you'll get to hear some sounds, you'll get to practice using some of the letters, and just so happens that everyone will get a chance today to do it because there's more letters in the alphabet than people here are in here. So everybody's going to get a turn to go up to the smartboard. Okay, so get those down. Letter A, I'll come walking around to try to help if there's any questions as to what you're doing to make sure you're doing it right, and then we'll move on to the smartboard. Okay, so as you can see, we have the smartboard set on the website called Starfall. Now, some of Starfall is free, some of Starfall costs, there's a subscription fee to use it. I'm in the free part right now, and we just got done using the letter A. with the students copying the letter, writing it the correct way, identifying the letter, sounding it out, and a volunteer or someone that is called on is going to come up and work with the website. So we're going to start with the letter A. Now normally a student would walk up and they'd be able to have interaction with the smartboard by touching the screen. Today there are no students present, but also we're having some technology issues with the smartboard today. So what can be done to supplement that is we can still use the computer. So what we do, we could just use a mouse, or you could do this on an individual computer, but you would click on the letter A.
A. A.
So notice that they give you the capital letter and the lowercase letter. They have a kind of direction for the students, telling you where to go to move on. So we'll move to that.
Apple. Apples.
So here now you're going to get an example on here about this, with the students will see the A at the front of the letter. They'll see a picture of something that starts with an A, and then they'll click on that letter and they'll be told what it is, and it'll be sounded out for them.
Alligator. Astronaut. Click and drag the letters to the correct basket. Capital A. Lowercase a.
Okay, so you can see that there's capital letters and there's lowercase letters of A, and what the students would do is drag them to the correct box. So they would touch this, they would touch one of the A's and bring it to the appropriate box. And if they brought it to the wrong box, basket, it won't allow them to do it. So they have to bring everything to the correct box, and then as they do it, it is sounded out for them.
That was great.
Okay, and then that would be the end of that letter that is being used. So we would go through that with every single letter, and then we would get to a point where we would move on to a different book, to our reading book, after we completed all 26 letters, and every student had a chance to come up and work with the smartboard. And I would have the students open to page 13, and they would be identifying words from pictures, and then trying to identify what letter that it starts with. So that's what they would be doing. So running out of time here, we're not going to go through all of this, but I mean, it kind of gives you an idea. And it would follow up at the end with another thing to do on Starfall with reading. And any words that the students don't know would be sounded out for them if they click the button. They would be making something, and while they were making it, they'd have to read it before they were allowed to move on to the next step. And anything that they don't know, they would have to click on the word and it would be sounded out for them, and then they'd have to repeat it. Uh, so that's kind of an overview of what I would be doing for the class.